absentee board meeting. And we have a quorum, we have all members present. I'll start with the conflict of interest statement. As the Surrey County Board of Elections, we have the duty to avoid conflicts or appearances of conflicts of interest. Does any board member have any known conflict or of interest or any appearance of a conflict with respect to any matters coming before our board today? If so, please identify the conflict or appearance of a conflict and refrain from any participation in a particular matter. We will proceed. We have the minutes from our February the 6th meeting, absentee meeting in front of you. If you would like to take time to look at those for any corrections, deletions, adjustments, and approval. Anyone identify any additions or deletions or corrections on the minutes as written?
No, sir.
Seek a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
We have a motion and we have a second to approve the minutes from our February the 6th meeting. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
While the minutes are going around, I'll proceed with the public forum. And open the public forum up for any one wishing to address the Surrey County Board of Elections. Is there anyone present that would like to say anything before us and let us know what they feel, either present or online?
Yeah, man, I don't have a particular issue to discuss, but I wouldn't miss an opportunity to thank the board and all the staff for all that they're doing this year and that how much I appreciate that. And I'm sure all the candidates and everyone else feel the same way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? If not, I will proceed to close the public forum portion of our meeting. We will move into the absentee ballot.
Yes, sir. We have before us today 9 to recommend approval. And we do have 4 that are deemed not okay. We have 1 that is pending cure and 3 that are pending review. I'll start with the pending cure. I'll pass it around. And the item that was not sufficient was an expiration date on the form of ID that was provided, the photocopy of the ID. You will see the expiration date compared to the date of birth. This person was 59 years old when the form of identification was expired. So I have left a message with her and told her that she could call us back after hours. Of course, we'll be here. And then a letter was mailed to her today as well. We received it before lunch.
Let me just ask, that means that she has to start all over? Or
No.
does she have to just provide a form of up-to-date identification?
Yes,
Photo?
and my apologies for not continuing that. Yes, she can provide another photocopy of a current photo ID.
Sure.
Or, by the law, she was also mailed with her letter a photo ID exception form that she could also fill out and return back. So she does not have to do anything with her ballot. The ballot was sufficient.
It's just a personal observation in that photo ID exception form that a person might fill that out and they feel that, well, I have put my justification on there and then that releases me from any further responsibility and that my vote will count at that point, which is not necessarily the case.
Right. And that is the other three that are pending review of this board. They are photo ID exception forms. And I do understand probably when people hear 65 and older can have an expired form of ID. And often they don't hear, but it cannot be expired on your 65th birthday. It has to be after your 65th
Right.
birthday. So that's where this one did not meet those standards. And also, not that it matters, but there was no postmark. But it did come through the mail, but it's a hit or a miss on postmark. Thank you. So, hopefully this can get corrected and I'll bring this back to you next week. We'll see.
Okay, thank you.
And the other three, you will see my notes on the photo ID exception form there. Actually, I'll start with this one, and then I'll take these two out, so. So, yeah. And since the box was checked there, Dwayne, on that one, and the last four of the social was verified. It does meet the requirements, but it is up to the board to make certain that they are good, that is not a false.
So we can make a decision on this, whether or not to accept their exception form.
To determine something the board might know for a reason that could be falsity with that form. I'm not saying that for that person. This is just our first one. And these other two, you'll see, are the same way. And one of the voters, the social security number is incorrect, but it only requires one, either driver's license or last four of social. They filled in both and the driver's license matched.
Okay.
And you'll see what they did was they just put the last four of the driver's license as the social. So it's just a mix up.
Right.
Most likely.
Yeah. Yeah. But luckily they had the driver's license So it was a match.
This is the driver's license. And the last four, the social bill.
Mhm. And then that one, driver's license and social, and they both matched up.
And these are the only three you have where there's a question.
Mhm.
What was our laid out rules that we should go by with this? Is to,
On determining.
if we to take them or not, what's the,
Mhm.
according to statute, what we're supposed to do?
It is our. Go ahead. Has to be a false, it has to be a false statement.
Yeah, otherwise it's
Black and white.
complete. It's complete because at least one number as written on that form, it says one and it's underlined. So they are considered complete. It's just the board either approves or not, but,
Okay,
if the board finds that the form is false, then the ballot, could be rejected. But again, it's, for completeness, it's correct. But from the staff standpoint,
did they put any sanctions against people that tried to, if they tried to vote an illegal ballot? Is there sanctions that can be taken up afterwards? Is there such a thing?
if they try to vote an absentee ballot,
That's wrong.
yeah, that's like any other, any form of voting, yeah.
So there's sanctions.
Yes, I mean, of course, state board would,
Would we have to refer it to the district attorney's office or the state board?
no, we would refer it to the state board. Mhm. We did have one person that we were notified of today posted a voted ballot on social media. So I did speak with the state. And
It what now? I'm sorry.
posted a photo and posted a ballot, and it was not person's ballot
Mhm.
that posted it.
This county?
Yes, yes. So it was removed by 1:30. So that process worked. I asked the state if they wanted me to call the person, and they said, no, so the investigations team called me within about 30 minutes.
So what will the state do from here?
They contacted.
Contacted
The voter.
voter.
They contacted the person who posted it.
Okay. Does the voter get contacted also? So they're
should.
made aware of somebody posting their ballot?
The voter is in a assisted living
Oh,
facility.
okay, I understand.
So I'm sure I don't know what
Right.
that conversation was.
That was put online, what
Facebook.
somebody put on illegal ballot and saying,
The only illegal part was
Posting.
posting a picture of a voted
Right.
ballot.
That breaks the law.
okay.
So tell me again on this one. You've confirmed that those
Yes.
numbers match.
Mhm. That is the same as the last four of their social.
Okay.
That is in voter view and seems.
I'm gonna ask a crazy question that I should have asked 2 years ago. When, particularly with us, Barbara and I sitting on this side of the table, and most of this information is public information anyway, I understand that, but there's no way for people to zoom in. I just know that folks with technology, what it is today, so no one can take from home. This is probably a better question to direct over to our staff.
Technology,
And,
IT.
and
Are you implying they're more tech savvy?
my concern is that, you know, I try to take these things that I have in my hands, and I know other things that we'll be doing through the course of an
Marking ballots
election,
and-
marking ballots in
Sure.
particular, exactly right.
Mhm.
And I concern myself with what we have in our hands.
Mhm.
Uh, no one can take the image over our shoulder, particularly Barbara and I, and look at what we have in our hands here. Can they?
Mm-mm.
I believe the quality is gonna be.
Mm-mm.
They can do
No.
it.
It
It'll be
wouldn't
very
work.
pixelated.
Yeah, pretty.
No, you couldn't.
Now,
Okay.
we can,
Camera, which is
we can solve that by having everyone face this way for the most part. But you're still gonna have to be very aware of how, I mean, you know, you can see right here.
Well, no, I like our setup. I do. I would prefer us to be as we are now. I think it lends something to our meetings that we would lose that I wouldn't want us to lose, but I think we do that to be
See and
careful.
appreciate your concern, but.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
Clark.
Yeah.
It's a worthwhile concern to express.
I think
We're
that-
taking our role seriously and maintaining the integrity of every voter.
I think the, Clark, the one to probably, or the ones to be most careful of is when you are doing a remark, that number at the top of that ballot. is
Absolutely.
Quite a significant amount
Absolutely,
larger than right here.
absolutely.
So that's when you all would probably have to be most cautious. Mhm.
It's likely that Clark and Barbara can use their bodies
Yeah.
to keep it close and block
To cover.
anybody viewing. I was just looking up at the screen to see.
Well, I kept looking down. I mean, you know,
And
even
that
I,
one's more clear, of course. This one's much fuzzier, but it's still zooming in. I think it would be
even the
hard.
nameplates right there, I can't read them.
Yeah.
I didn't know your names, I can't. read them.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No.
That's
and
a good- that's a good
I don't
indication.
think you can click on it and zoom in. I don't think that's,
Or screenshot.
Possible.
Yeah.
well, you could do a screenshot
Mhm.
and then save it to your photos and try.
I still think.
I
they
mean, you
can
could
use Zoom.
try to do it.
It's gonna,
I have had a friend, a Surrey County friend that has contacted me and we've discussed what we're looking for as we pass the ballots around.
Mhm.
And she said, well, have you, yeah, and then I sent her the website, the
Mhm.
YouTube website, so she could
Oh,
look
yeah,
at
watch.
the meeting.
Mhm.
And after she looked at it, she said, what are y'all looking for when you pass that around?
Mhm.
So I told her. And she said, well, does everybody know that watches the YouTube? And I said, well, I don't know what they know. I
Yeah.
don't know if they know or not,
Mhm.
that what we're looking for.
We
So now
might
what,
come back to that in a little bit.
Okay.
now with the 3 ballot containers, what do we take them up individually? Or what is our pleasure? What are we permitted to do?
Since there's just 3, yeah, we can do them individually for sure. Or we can do the 2 that have the numbers that are
Correct.
correct, and then we could do the one that has the one correct and one not, either way.
Anything? How would you?
Mr. Chairman, after looking at all 3 and the information that the voters provided, they're, at least my understanding is within the compliance of the law. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we can accept all 3, agree to take them all at one time, move on to the next group of ballots.
Is that your motion?
That would be my motion, yes. I make a motion that we approve all 3 based on the fact that they comply with the law, and we move on to the next batch.
We have a motion.
Need a second?
Yes, sir. And we have a second. We have a motion and a second to accept the three ballots with the information as given and, as presented. Any discussion?
I would like to ask this one question, and I don't have an issue with it, but I'd like to ask this. Michelle, since it's our first time around this, is with your, I think, more studied understanding of the laws as they've been written and certainly given more thought to them, do you see any issues with these three ballots in particular as do you see an issue with what's on these three ballots?
If I do, I will always, point that out
Thank you.
before sending.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to
I'll
hear.
always.
Please
point
red
that out.
flag.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I want
Flag
to,
down on the
that's
flag.
what I want to hear.
I'll always let the board know all information that we have acquired, in research that we can do according to the law. Yes, but no red flags for these.
I would always want to hear that opinion up front before we dive head first into something just
And-
because of our failure on our end to not grasp something that you might with your history in this office.
And Clark, in prior years, it would have been still in a staff recommend approval, but the
I
law is
understand.
different now. So I have to make actual labels that say according to the law, which I had to put this in as pending review.
Precisely why I asked the question.
And
Our review.
and this is the review.
Precisely why I asked the question.
So let me do those
Thank
that
you.
way.
Thank you very much.
Let's see. So-
Come
Thank you
this
very
fall,
much.
it's gonna be a whole
Oh.
lot harder,
Oh,
because there's gonna be two teams writing ballots. And we're gonna be going back and forth, we're gonna forget about those big eyes in the room. Because
Well-
we're gonna be involved in what we're doing,
more than that,
and it's gonna be
you're
real
gonna
easy.
have quadruple this type
Oh, it's
and
gonna
then
be,
some.
it's gonna
each
be
meeting.
intense.
And the board does have to look at those.
Thank you for allowing that
Do
discussion.
you have to get in touch with those?
No, because you all approve them.
Okay.
Now, if the board did not, then
You would.
yes, then they would have a right to possibly appeal a decision on that too.
Okay.
Any further discussion on the three ballot?
I will just say that, again, it's our first time. So when, the board has accepted, then we will change the status from review pending to accepted.
Thank you.
Call for a vote. All those in favor for accepting the three ballots as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Remind me, does this have to be a unanimous vote on any of the reviews?
I will look that up. I can't remember. There's one that was majority and one was unanimous. I'm thinking majority, but
We went
I will
all the
look.
way. We.
luckily you covered all bases.
Resolved today.
Okay,
It's, this chart is brand new. This is for every example that could be. Because the state wants consistency with how.
Right.
It is put in with their photo ID status, their return status selected, and then the next steps. And again, I understand that. So when reports are asked for from Mecklenburg to Surrey to wherever, it's apples to apples.
I want it
This is
statewide.
all new
I want it consistent statewide, but I really want it consistent
here.
at this board table all across the county.
All right, and then, we do have 9. That is recommend approval. 2, 3, 4.
I can't believe it's still this slow coming in.
I know.
And it's,
Wait till next week.
I've been waiting.
But we're sending out bigger numbers each day. Today was what, 24? Andrew, I think
24 more.
24 absentee ballots went out today. So we've been doing single digits a lot. So yeah, it's increasing. The more it's on the news, now it's on the news, it seems like every morning, something. So it's
Getting closer.
local news, so I think it's A little more height.
2020 was not like this.
It is different. It is different.
I'm not
For
saying
several
on camera,
reasons.
but I think this is
Without
just a personal opinion. I'll wait till it's.
Without me digging this out, tell me what this document is. Thank you. See how much traveling I do. Yeah.
You
I've
have
got
to have
one
one
of those, I
for
just never
Canaan.
used it.
Come on, Drew.
Need one. So I don't go to Canaan anymore.
Uh, uh,
We gotta laugh. Drew, what would we do without you?
Hate to think. Y'all crossed up here.
Sorry about that. I was
Okay, cool.
running it through my head.
I've already seen this. Think of,
This one goes this way. Okay. This one.
Feel free to pass it back if I was.
Read the pass you some. So this-
I'd like to see the young voter go through one time. I've never seen that like it.
I was thinking the same thing.
I have not.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
I'm telling y'all, it's the place on one way and the other's the other. Otherwise,
Yeah, you're right. It's a good idea.
it's the only way it'll work.
It is. That's a good one.
Mhm.
You know anything about how Mecklenburg and Wake do and stuff like this? Have you
Not
ever?
A lot of times they just, they have their meeting and then they reconvene the next morning, reconvene the next day. It's almost like a never ending absentee meeting. Well, I say that, I'm not
Imagine.
sure this year, but I know in 2020
A continuous daily
it
meeting.
was.
If they're online with their meetings, it might be interesting to pull that up and watch.
Yeah.
They should be.
I might get some pointers.
Are we good to go ahead and open these that were recommended approval?
Feel so.
Yes.
And if a bipartisan team would go ahead and verify the seals. Andrew,
Your turn, Clark.
Andrew's gonna give it a whirl today and open the machine, so.
Go Andrew.
Closing the seal number 178-730. And then this one, middle, bingo, looks like
Right.
and then the next one should be 178-745. And we haven't cut those farms through there.
That's what.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking at- Our opening count today should be 17.
What was the, oh, sorry.
While he's doing that, next going, we'll check the skill. We got. Should be 178-742 and 178-743.
People that have the most gain or lose are the ones that use their franchise the least.
Way to say it.
I ain't seen nobody but baby boomers and then the greatest generation still.
That's why they're the
The greatest
greatest.
generation.
That's
Yeah.
why they're-
Well, greatest generation boomers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have the
That's
time to be able to do that.
Uh,
Right,
Yep, I got
that's
it in
true.
my folder here, thank you.
Write this down.
You ever get a hold of my boy?
Yeah, I called him that day and he was on the road, so he called me back about an hour. On Friday, I guess it was, of course I didn't. But I reached back out to him, I talked to him again since then, so we're gonna make something.
He washed mine
Had
Thursday.
a good
when I
sunny day
played
like
it.
today.
17?
Yeah,
It did like it
Yeah, we've
did
had
this
so much-
weekend.
and for the
Yeah.
last several days, so
Can't
today
tell
was
you.
gorgeous. It was a perfect day. Hopefully tomorrow's gonna be nice.
But he's never, I can't remember him ever standing me up.
No, he'd be fine.
How long have you used?
This was one of my, Walgreens,
That's impressive.
All he does.
He probably has a good business. He does a good job. He's got word of mouth. That's the best advertisement. No, I haven't, but I did share his name with a friend that asked me about someone. In fact, the very next day.
I got the configuration report and right there is your public count, which is 17.
Okay, where do you want?
What do you usually sign at the top or the bottom, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, just those. All right, Amy's gonna feed in about.
Count 17.
I remember that this time.
Right.
Remember the last time.
Finished up.
Thank you.
This to be the best for you. If you're gonna eat chocolate, you need to eat dark. It's the only way you got it.
My face like that. I said, I don't care.
After 12 earlier, but with the 3.
Yeah. What's your time?
I'm too old to care too.
17 was the beginning count.
Oh, we didn't know to care.
9 ballots ran, so the ending count is 26.
Well, it's now working late, whatever you want. Come on back up.
Y'all come
Oh, well, I'll wait on these.
Y'all gonna work in here tomorrow, don't you? Getting everything.
Yeah.
Mount Airy today,
Today.
but we have the best precinct officials.
Great.
The 2 chief judges at Mount Airy came and helped set up the entire time
They know what to do with it.
because they wanted,
It to go.
they wanted to,
They need to know.
they know how it flows best. They know what works the best for the
That
public.
is great.
And they both were there all day.
Oh, wow.
And
And that
one,
was Mount
we had to
Airy.
take off work to do that, so.
Jessica.
Lucky.
That's so
We're
sweet.
very lucky. Yeah. Oh, I know. And, you know, it's.
He is.
He is,
He is.
but he's going on a mission. He won't be here for the primary, but he's gonna be for the general. So we said, okay, we'll let you pass this time, because he's fantastic.
There's always appeared to be neat people.
Oh, just top notch. Yes.
I don't think the date comes through on that. Is that?
Probably that paper clip. Yeah, just do it down like over here. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll work perfect.
But I'll read them out.
Yeah, they better not have changed.
Yeah, it was 742. I like that.
Okay. Easy peasy.
We'll start with reports. I'll start here with you, Clark. If you'll sign all 3 copies, both sets, please. Thank you.
Never know in 100 years from now. Let's look up there.
You know what? I hate to do this, but we've got to do it right. We really shouldn't have sealed. These were approved. It just hit me.
I didn't know I said approved. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we need to reopen.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just the one we'll have to put.
yeah, sorry, but these were approved. And I'm gonna put the forms back in the envelope. Or back in the clear sleeve.
Okay, count 3 more.
Sorry, y'all, but this is new process, so it
Yeah,
just
that's
occurred to
fine.
me that
That's good that you
That-
even remembered.
we gotta keep the date consistent with when they were approved.
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta go back in there and look at the stamp again. I'll go. Let me go.
Your turn.
Wait, give me.
Okay.
Give you a hard time. Give you a hard time if you don't.
Speaking of flip of the coin on the 50, well, somebody had a bet. Somebody had a bet as far as what the tails or the heads, which one would turn up on this first toss.
Well, shoot.
And they lost $44,000. They had $44,000 bet.
On that, on that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I bet there's more bets than that. I bet that's just all you heard about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But this, I mean, that's just not on the game,
No, I understand.
but just
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Needs a button.
coin toss.
What's bet on today.
It really is. I mean, it's.
It's insane what they bet on.
North Carolina. We're able to bet on games after the Super Bowl,
Yes, after the Super Bowl.
Time for ATC.
in time for the ACC, that's right. They knew what this statement.
They did,
Hold your money until.
exactly.
Two wasn't. One said. 2022, we kind of were left, yes, I don't know what compared to really. Everybody was on the ballot, yes. Right, our vote count at 6.
I'm gonna put second go round.
Just hang out, I mean, there's.
It's okay. You caught it.
Six.
It's the main thing.
Yeah, because I forgot it's got to go back in tonight before we leave to actually put them in the system, so it has to have the same date as the absentee meeting day. That would be bad if that was 7 days later.
Right.
Then I will print the report and you all will have that to do first next week. That report will be by, it'll be
For the addition.
It'll be separate. Then the report for next week, because I'll run it and it'll date stamp it.
So it'll be updated of these two.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yes, and
Okay.
In addition,
it'll have a timestamp and the date stamp of tonight.
Okay.
Yep. You get another one to sign, yes. So now, let me find where it's at. There it is. Public count 26. Right there.
Well, nobody can accuse us of not being thorough.
Not being what?
Thorough.
We'll get there.
that is a fact. That is an absolute fact.
Secretary, you got another tape to sign and then the report over there. That will be the interim report.
Why you get paid the big bucks.
Sign those papers there, Drew, before you take off. Don't get chocolate on.
How will they know I was ever here if I don't?
They'll see the chocolate, they'll know you did.
Last three.
As last. Hey,
So what's up now, Andrew?
you remember the fellow that would take,
Yeah. You know what I thought you fixed to.
29.
no,
So I'm gonna go ahead and
You raised
That
that
pretty-
hand up, that's the first thing coming by my mind. Yeah.
The only way. Some. Okay. Chairman.
sir, thank you.
You're up, Drew.
Our closing, we just want you to see was 29 since we ran the last three. And now, pull up the hands. Yeah.
Three absentee ballot request forms report was, they were right.
Screen goes off, lock it, and I got it.
So it's so,
Mhm.
it's so much information and they just get overwhelmed when they open that packet.
I can
As
only
I have
imagine.
witnessed.
So
This has to be so overwhelmingly new to them that,
there's like,
and,
we don't understand this.
right.
And then particular one, I know well, it's like, can you not just write it in? for me? Not.
Yeah.
But you're telling me, you see that, what it is, I said, but I can't do that.
Right.
The two calls I made today about the request forms. Okay, you just, let me just tell you a thought, can't do that.
Drew,
Because they just wanted to be, it's checked off their list, they're done. But now it's not.
So our
Did I miss one?
can answer works even then. It's,
And that's what I
yeah,
said.
yeah,
The law prohibits me from doing that.
that's right.
Thank you.
sign that one.
Yeah.
Did you sign that
I'm
one?
gonna make a note on this, this
That one.
was
That's your thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
opening.
Which actually, and we gotta write down instead of.
Definitely don't wanna.
29.
Short copy.
Hey,
Here we
Jimmy,
go. That's
sir,
good.
signature
Jimmy,
on
see
the
that it's
second,
26.
third pages.
Yeah, second, third, this one too.
All right. Sorry about that.
All right, Dwayne, I want to show you, so originally you had our 26 and that was our seal, but we just drew one line through it, and put our 29 and our new seal number.
So,
Yep.
And I made a note in the absentee record and on the second tape of why there were two tapes.
We're fortunate we not daily.
I showed them on
Why-
top too, so
we're
originally
we're
we
not
showed
daily.
26 and that was the seal number, so I showed them.
Hey.
It's got that one, got 29.
Before the general, I'm glad to,
Yeah, we get to practice at the primary.
but you saw the news today, right?
What?
In May, they're bringing photo ID back up to be considered.
Oh,
Lawsuit
the
or whatever.
lawsuit.
So that's just where we shut down originally.
May
26,
6th,
and that was the seals supposed to be
Oh,
good for
mercy.
financials, and we got.
So it could be
29
different.
seals.
by the general.
I'm sorry.
I'd take you to the bank. I'd let you go to the bank. How about that?
Go to the bank, what are you talking about? Right here's our bank.
Mine too, if you want.
Just,
It's all signed.
One set coming up, one set coming
Okay,
over
good
there.
deal. Thank you, thank you.
my apology. I missed the significance of May 6th. What was that?
It's supposed to go to trial over
Oh.
the voter ID.
Yeah.
Voter photo ID.
Right.
So it could
That's
Could change again before the general.
ridiculous.
Have you heard anything about 549?
I mean.
749.
Seven.
You might have that about 549 either.
No, hadn't heard a thing about 549. That's news to me.
Or, well, 649 already.
749.
We, speaking of betting, we could, if we could at least bet without any financials tied to it, that if the courts do hear it on the 6th and they find, they overturn it, it's gonna be appealed and it's gonna go back to the court.
And it'll be
Yeah, we can bet it's not over.
it'll be a few
Regardless.
Exactly.
months in between all the,
Each one is this, which,
the photo ID
okay.
back up, yeah.
No matter the verdict, it will be appealed.
Elections are like corrections. The state of, it's always evolving.
Yep,
Yep.
Never change, never goes to bed.
no,
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
February 28th will be the trial date for, 749 for the board, decision on the state and county board.
When is that?
I thought that was 747.
Goes to,
No, it's 749.
goes to the trial that February 28th.
they said it would be February, they barely made it.
Right.
Mhm. Well, there's a 29.
Yeah, it is leap year.
That's right.
Okay. Moving on to precinct officials, early voting and election day.
Yes, you all should have a copy there of the updated, early voting folks that are appointed. I just wanted to let the board know, you all don't have to approve this, but I wanted to let you know with early voting opening on Thursday. We did have just a few minor changes here. We did lose 2 people that were Democrat assistants. And we replaced one with a Democrat and we replaced one with a unaffiliated voter. And that's both of these people. The unaffiliated voter has worked early voting for years.
Okay.
The new Democrat assistant has worked election day for us and been a wonderful, wonderful asset. This person has since retired from his full-time job, so he was available and it was good timing. So
Good.
we feel confident that he will be a great addition to early voting. We're holding our breath.
You got a Poindexter
Sydney
on,
has changed and changed and changed.
you got a Poindexter on there, so it'll be all right.
So we
We've
didn't
had
lose
that
out on a
Poindexter
lot
too.
of experience then. as far-
No,
which is
no.
good.
No. The only thing with the one, there's a few differences, and he did do his training, online. You know, he watched the video recording of the
Okay.
training and signed the affidavit. So, you know, he has seen that. But we have great folks that will, you know, help
Right.
him. I mean, he's
Back
gonna
up.
know so much anyway, but the
Right.
main thing with him will be being able to register to vote, because election day, he would not have had that, so.
Okay.
That'll be the main difference.
Hmm.
So I did just want to let the board, make you all aware of that.
Update. Hopefully there will be no more updates.
Oh, Sydney hopes more than anybody. And election day, I'm sorry, I had election day on there. There's still some moving parts to election day. Sydney's gonna have it probably in about, maybe by next week. Oh, you have election day? Well, I don't have it for them, so we'll just,
Next week will be a light week. We can take that up then.
Yeah.
All right. That is on that.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to the website proposal. Fill us
Yes.
in on that.
And Dwayne, I think you were probably the only one who didn't hear this repeatedly, but in our session, the first day of conference, it was mentioned quite a few times, .gov. You need to establish your own .gov website. It gives everyone the message that there's, added layers of security being a .gov site. It's accurate information. It's the source to go to for correct information. There's strict security protocols to be able to obtain a .gov. So it's a lot of integrity that comes with that because it's held to, the high standard of a trusted source. So with that, Sydney spoke with Martha while we were at conference, emailing her. And so she went through the steps to see if we could do that. So she did get us a quote. And what this means is the Board of Elections would have its own site, so to speak. It would be separate from the county. Everything that would be updated, posted, changed would be through our office. Which is not a lot different than how we do it anyway.
Okay.
So, but there is a cost associated with that, and you see the quote there. And this quote is good for 5 years. I think the sheriff's department is their own website as well, so it wouldn't be like we were the only one. But it was, I think they drove the point home repeatedly that if you are not a .gov,
Yeah, they did.
become one.
Yeah.
Now,
We're not
what
one now.
sounds confusing is we are one now. We are Surrey County NC Votes.gov. But it's actually ran through, and that's not the right word, Cindy can say the right word. It's actually run through the co.surrey.us. Yeah.
If you look up the Surrey County ncvotes.gov, it will come up. It just redirects you to the co.surrey, basically.
So this has added insulation as far as security.
There will be it will be only the .gov. And what they were saying more than anything was people automatically say, oh, I know if I've read it on this website, then I can take it to the bank.
Right.
Being a .gov, a governmental website, it's the correct information.
Yeah, the way I took it during the conference was it was an added certification for what we're doing.
I understood the same thing, that
Okay.
it actually is some elevated security layer
Right.
to it beyond. In other words, you can't get a .gov just by,
Creating it. Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
mean, that's not available to
Right.
You have to
anyone.
request.
It's not just a sense of security, there actually is a technical level of security that goes along with that, not just the seeming sense of security.
Can't go to GoDaddy and register. it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
So it's nowhere in the world they can do a .gov anywhere?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but.
I don't
it's-
think so.
You have to have governmental credentials to
Mhm.
get.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But
That's over my head.
can someone pretend
Well,
to be something, I'm sure.
I think the way they, from what I understood them to say there at the conference, that is the case. You have to be a government entity,
Right.
a US government entity.
They're gonna certify that before providing the approval.
Approval.
Yeah. I just entered it online. Goes right to our original website information. So
Yeah.
I was curious. So
So the setup price and the annual fee,
Yeah.
is that budgeted for this year or is it available in this year's budget? Or does this commence July 1st or?
It is, it's not spelled out, but we can do this now.
This year,
Mhm.
within this year's budget.
So the first year is the greater expense because of the setup
The
price.
setup,
And-
and then it would be the annual of 2275.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
bless you.
Thank you.
And Martha, of course, did speak with Chris about this before getting the quote, so he was aware. He is aware.
So county management is aware of it.
Mhm.
Any further questions for Michelle on this, or just open discussion?
It seems a small price to pay.
I agree.
You need a motion with this,
Yes, sir. Because of the price.
make a motion, we accept it,
Second,
however you want to say it.
We have a motion
second.
and we have a second for the election website changeover to the .gov. Is there any further discussion?
I do have a little discussion. Is there, are you bound? I understand this is a 5-year agreement.
Mhm.
Are you bound for 5 years?
I think we are, yeah. And, but this is who the county already has everything with.
Oh,
Okay, so-
Yeah,
That's
they,
good.
yeah, they already have everything, all
Okay,
of the
so
websites run through.
this is a known
this
entity.
revised web service.
So you
It's all
have
under one
you have
umbrella.
some leverage then with them
Yeah.
if you were,
You know, I don't know what the cost is for the whole county to be, I'm sure it's a lot more than this. And the website was just revamped for the entire county.
I
Which
feel
you
better
see
knowing
there is a redesign in year 5. So, you could have a whole new design to make it
Right.
look fresh and appealing 5 years out.
I don't think anyone would fault us for adding a layer of protection.
Not in what we do.
listen, I'm certainly in favor of it. I just want to make sure that we're not. I'd hate for us to get in there and not be able if we, you buy a new car and you've got 3 days to say, this thing is not what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a known quantity.
well, it makes me feel better to know that it's someone the county already does business with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The authorized signature, I don't know if that's me, that might be awesome.
If it is you, I will let you know. But yeah, and I've got mine. If you all want to keep that, you're welcome to. That's just a copy for you all.
Thank you. Other business to come in this section.
If you all want to take one of these. This is the election day that Sydney just ran 2 copies of. And these, we will need the board to sign off on. This is the election day, and the people that are highlighted, Sydney, are,
They're like different from the original.
and they are different as not brand new to the sheet necessarily, but maybe moved from other precincts
Or move from an assistant.
to a chief judge. Uh-huh. Is there anyone who is brand new?
Everybody, no, we plan on working and has been training and that sort of thing.
Uh,
Nobody's brand new.
And of course, you all know, but I will state it for everyone. This is not our doing. This is
Right.
the precinct official calling and saying, nah, no, I'm out. Or, hey, I've got a family commitment. I was not thinking about the date. I can't commit to that for other reasons, but everyone, a move was made because someone dropped out, took their name out, said, no, too big of a commitment or whatever.
So you need an acceptance on this
Yes.
new, this revive.
And this is the one she really hopes does not change anymore.
I know, that's a lot.
It is a lot of communication.
This is the unofficial official. Any changes or any questions on any of the positions?
Can you ask about someone in a meeting? I mean, is that on Morris, is that the person that we got that, that sent in the letter?
Mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm.
same.
Same, different, yep, but the very same spelling, but a different person.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at the city,
Right,
different city.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
But no, I had to do a double take on that too.
you want care to make a motion to accept? What I laughed about a moment ago. Because stop. I said,
Yeah, no, that would not be.
I make a motion that we
My mind
accept
went
this.
there too.
That would not be.
I said, that's the funniest thing I've looked at all day long. I can't wait to call.
When you found the humor in it, then it really drew my attention. So it's,
I make a motion that we accept the slate of appointed precinct officials as presented, Mr. Chair.
I believe the world would stop spinning. Okay.
We have a motion
second.
and we have a second. Any further discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor of accepting the presented list for the judges and chief judges, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
And this does have to be unanimous. So that was unanimous, wasn't it?
It was.
I believe so.
Once we got the marsh. precinct clarified.
Hilarious.
Deer in headlights.
And while that's going around, I'll just report, we have went to 2 locations for MAP team, so far, and there's the 3rd one on schedule for tomorrow. And that is those MAP members are also our early voting members, so
So they'll have to retire after tomorrow.
well, we can't let them, but we're gonna play with the schedule a little and communicate, and like I said, everybody's so good to work with us, so.
Is there any other business? Any other business come before the public portion of this meeting from the board? Okay. We have next closed session for personnel. Look for a motion to close this portion of our public meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we close this session of our meeting, go into closed session for personnel matters.
We have a motion and we have a second. For going into closed session, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We will, when we come back out of closed session, come back into open session and make any reports if we need to on the public portion of it.
That's green.
Okay. We're back in open session. And from our closed session that we just held, we took no actions that are reportable at this time. We made no motions. We discussed personnel and legal matters. So nothing to report on that. Those minutes for closed session will remain. But now, anything further for our open session? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn this meeting, and we have a second. Any discussion? None? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Good evening. We'll see everyone next Tuesday for absentee meetings,
And we're hoping for a smooth
early voting.
opening.
Tuesday.